last thrust set. 5500. 31. Rotate.
Alright, I guess we're not going to wait the full 40 seconds. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It has been way too long since I've been able to go live. Finally getting settled back in. Finally able to go live again. And what a special opportunity to go live for the first time with the Pmdg Triple. Now, this airplane, you guys have all know about it. It's been long awaited. Our first fully simulated wide body long hauler. It's an absolute beauty. It's Pmdg. What can you expect? It just continues to get better, and it's very, very awesome. So we're going to talk all about that. I'm going to show you guys some little things about it that I've learned so far. This is going to be kind of our delivery flight, a short flight today. I actually have to go do some real world flying this afternoon. So we're going to just do a short flight down to San Francisco, and then tomorrow we're going to hit it off with a proper long haul. Not super long, maybe like Honolulu or something like that. I haven't quite figured it out yet. But before I continue on, I just want to thank you all for the support. There have been a massive slew of gifted memberships to the channel before I even went live. It has been absolutely wild. I'm going to have to just mute the alert box because I just can't possibly get to every single one of you. But I truly, sincerely thank you so much. Team Vodka, AJ Funari, Canadian got in there. Rastique is in there as well with the gifted memberships. Thank you all so much for the support. it's been a long time coming since we've been able to go live again. So it's fun. I know my voice is a little bit echoey. You're going to have to forgive me for that. I just moved into the new HQ. There's nothing on the walls yet. It's a little echoey in here. I'm doing my best to just kind of keep my voice down and right into the microphone. So if you hear the echoes, I apologize. I'm going to do my best, like I said, to minimize that. It will get better as I have more time to get things settled in. But let's get out of here. Transcon out of SFO tomorrow. Maybe Lauren. We'll see. We shall see. Welcome back. Hope you're feeling better. Smoky Mountain Flight Simmer. Thank you, man. Yeah, I've been, not only have I been away from being able to stream, I was flying and then I got sick. And so if you were a member, you saw me do a little stream last night, and my throat's feeling better. But yeah, I've been under the weather too, so I'm just battling a bunch of things. But I only have 2 days to get some pre-release content out before I go on another trip. So I wanted to at least try to get a quick one in here today before I go to work. So without further ado, chat, let's go ahead and work down the flight line here. We've got some 7.8s. We've got some 777s. We got to find our bird. There's an American over there. That's not our bird. There's a lot. That's definitely not us. Somewhere down here, we have a 777-300 ER just about ready. Actually, no. Is this an ER? 777-300 ready to go for a quick flight down to San Francisco. The Flightbeam SFO, we'll be checking that out as well. I just purchased that, got it installed. I haven't actually flown into it yet on the sim. I haven't done any simming, hardly zero simming since the last time we streamed. Just in the move and everything, it's been pretty hectic. So you guys have all seen pictures. By now, you've probably seen some pre-release video content. Again, I'd want to stress this is a pre-release version 2 of the 777. So everything that you see here today, it's obviously subject to change. Last night, I found a couple little things, or one little thing really, like some logos that were just kind of mirroring each other in the cabin. So little things like that. I mean, I don't know if it'll make it to the final build, but just remember that this is a pre-release version. It's not the final release copy. So things are subject to change. But with that said, it has still been very, very awesome to fly. This is my first time using the United livery. Now, I wanted to use the American livery. I really think the 777 looks awesome in the American livery, but this United livery looks pretty darn good too. And you can see here, I like that it's not super clean. It's got some wear marks on it, some scratches, some oil and stuff. There's our APU right there. It's got that flat rear tail cone, very distinguishing of the 777 there. Gotta love that. Our little pre-flight here. So we don't have all the externals hooked up since this is a repo flight today. I just have some minimal externals. I got one ULD there. We've got the dual air hoses hooked up here. I love this dual. I always think this is so cool. I don't know why, but whenever I'm like going through the airport terminals and you see those wide bodies with the dual air hose, that means you made it. Like if that's your airplane, you're gonna go walk down the jet bridge with a dual air hose. That's so cool. I don't know. It's things, you guys know me by now. Little things that stick out that I just really enjoy, and that's one of them. The dual air hose, I just think looks so awesome. We do have catering up here for the flight crew today, so we're going to have some breakfast on board. And that's it. We have a maintenance van parked out front as well, Pmdg maintenance, in case I need to replace the tires from smoking them the other night going into LAX. So anyway, but yeah, it's going to be... I don't think we need it today, so we should be fine. So up our stairs we go here, because we're going to be using our boarding stairs. I'm going to reset that camera actually before I do that. We'll reset that, and we'll go straight into the flight deck. Welcome aboard your 777-300. Absolutely awesome. PMDG nailed it with the 777. Yeah, I mean, dude, they've nailed it with everything from their 7.3 series to now the 777. It's awesome. And I want to say right out of the gate, because I had a lot of questions last night when I was just doing the our first test stream. The performance, it's very good. It's very well optimized. I want to say it's just a little bit heavier than the 737, but the 737 on my system runs like insane. It's one of the best performing airplanes in the sim. This one is right up there, maybe just a little bit heavier, but with frame generation, it's really, I really don't notice much at all. So do you have to send them a passport to get the pre-release copy? No, Bombtech, did not. I'm actually very thankful that PMDG, they reached out to me, and they sent a bunch of content creators some stuff. We were intended to be on Monday, but it kind of got pushed back a couple days. They were hunting and fixing some little bugs in the system, so I didn't actually get my hands on it until Thursday, where I was flying, and then Friday I was able to kind of check it out, but I was moving into the office that day and I was sick. So it's just, I haven't had a whole lot of time to get into it, but that's what our long haul is going to be for tomorrow. We'll be able to kind of real dive in, check it out. Somebody asked about a GSX. The GSX integration is not yet fully simulated because, and remember, this is a pre-release version. I think GSX is going to need an update. Once the airplane's released, then I'm sure it'll be fully simulated, because you can control all of the doors and everything here, which make it, oh, sorry, wrong button there. Right here. I love this part of the door management and ground services here. You got ground connections, all this. So this is what I've been using right now. If you have like GSX, close all your doors and you have this open, like it can kind of get, I don't want to say glitched out. It obviously needs to be incorporated into GSX, which they're not doing it yet because it's not fully released, and maybe by release date it is. So I've just been using it. Now what I can tell you works is I've been able to push off the gate, go nose left, tail right, whatever, and that all works just fine. So as far as pushing back from the gate and doing all that stuff, it does work. We'll see that tomorrow. Right now though, today on this hard stand here out of Pain Field, we're not going to need that. We're just going to fire up and taxi straight on out to 16 right. So Mathis is here. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining the stream, Mathis. Appreciate you again reaching out. I'm absolutely loving this airplane, man. You guys did an excellent job, which, I mean, I've been a PMDG fan since the FSX days, and I don't think there's ever been a PMDG release where it's not been as good, if not better, than their previous releases. So they continue to hold that bar very, very, very high. Canadian says, question from Stig, does the fidget spinner work? The fidget spinner, where's the fidget spinner? I haven't watched any Stig aviation maintenance in a while, but here we go, guys. Let's go ahead and power this airplane up. I am a little bit short on time today, so we're going to go a battery on, and you'll notice from the battery power, not a whole lot happens here. Very similar to the Airbus, because it's going to be powering up just the very essential systems. When you really bring the airplane to life, looks like I have a conflicting binding there. It keeps bringing me to that wing view. I'll have to fix that. We'll go ahead and get the external powers on. I'll bring the sound up, and now you get that. Now you're going to get the airplane coming to life. So gotta love that. I love that little fade in there of the ISIS too. Is this a payware scenery? Swim climb. This is, I got this off the Orbix. This is Pain Field off the Orbix store. I've had it for a while. I can't recall who makes it. I mean, maybe it is right straight through Orbix. But yeah, this is a payware Pain Field, which is really nice if you want to do these delivery flights. I mean, it really brings life, because the default Pain Field here for Boeing is pretty bland. So having this scenery really brings the whole airport to life. You can see, you even have that, they're all I forget what they call that color, like they're before they're painted, not primer, but you know what I mean. It might have been Jizwecki. No need for a spinner, just click the pen on top of the window pillar. Click the pen on top of the window. Oh yeah, there you go. Look at that. Here's your fidget spinner, guys. Look at the little PMDG logo. That's a nice looking pen right there. Normally this is filled with hotel pens, at least on the narrow bodies. I'm not a wide body pilot in real life, so but I would imagine they probably put some nice hotel pens in there as well. So let's go ahead and kind of finish up our overhead flow. We're going to not do an abbreviated flow, but because this is a non-revenue flight and we're just going to be getting the systems fired up, short flight plan in, then we're going to taxi off. We're going to do things a little bit differently. Tomorrow we'll kind of slow it down and I'll try to show you what I can get with like boarding and stuff. You can do real-time fueling through here and turn time, which if you guys are going to do a real-time turn after flying a 777 long haul, I mean, good on you, because if you're going to do a long haul for what, 10, 12 hours and then turn around and do another long haul 10, you guys are absolutely insane. But that option is available. You can actually set up your turn times and stuff. I messed with this a little bit yesterday, but I'm going to need some more time to kind of really kind of check it out before I speak too much about it. But you can set your uplift, your fuel, and it basically will do it for you in real time, which is really, really neat. Like I said, if you're going to go fly Sydney to New York, well, I guess that's going to be a 350 route on Qantas. But if you're going to do Sydney, LA, then turn around and go back, Godspeed. All right, let's go ahead and I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to get the APU fired up right away here. Again, this is a repo flight. We want to get the APU fired up. This airplane is very automated, much more automated than the 737, so it actually makes things quite easy. We'll go ahead and get the in-flight entertainment on as well, even though we don't have any passengers on board today. We'll leave that off. No smoking. So I'm just going to put the seatbelt sign on. We're pretty much done fueling at this point. Emergency exit lights, I should have armed that first. I think I'm kind of going backwards here on the appropriate flow. We'll get the logo light on, even though there's no real need for it right now. We got the nav logo lights on. Our fuel is off. That looks fine. Everything looks good there as well. Everything's in auto. Once the APU starts up, as long as your bleed air over here is in auto, you're going to get APU bleed air, which is pretty neat as well. So, all right, that's fired up. Let's come down here. Let's go ahead and get the FMC up. And what I'm going to do as well, I'm going to go to the PMD. We're going to do fuel and payload through here. And actually, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. I was going to do that. We're going to do it this way. Let's go ahead and do a pause and it. Let's get the box loaded up. We'll go to the route page and we'll do a route request through SimBrief. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to go ahead and set payload. And then we're going to set fuel. Now we're going to select the route. Route requesting. And well, I gotta wait for it actually. Route request sent. We'll wait for that to come back here. Singapore used to do a flight in Moscow, then to Houston in the 777. Heck of a duty. Oof, there is an FMC message. Here is our route uplink. Descent forecast, wind data uplink, perfinite uplink, route 1. So this is all real good stuff. And you can, 330 Driver actually did a good premiere video on this yesterday, kind of explaining in detail the different types of uplinks you can get through the FMC. So I'm kind of blazing through this right now, but just know, if you check out the other videos, check out the pre-release stuff, check out the manual when you eventually get your hands on it, there's a lot more customization here that you can do. And we'll probably touch on that a little bit more tomorrow. But again, this is just our repo flight, so we're going to just kind of power through it. Our route uplink is ready, so we're going to load that. And that is uploading. And what you can do, too, I've already brought it into the EFB. But you guys remember, uh-oh. Lost my mouse there for a second. There it is. You can move this around. So like you can bring the EFB up here, and then when you want to verify flight plans, you can bring the EFB over here somehow. I did it the other day. I think I have to be on a different page, but I'm going to bring it back down there. But you can bring it down here, and you have that little white hand, which is kind of neat. So you can actually look at your flight plan legs as you step through the EFB. There it is. That was it, the 777 logo. So there you go. So now you can, if you're going through your actual legs in your flight plan, you can verify it through here, through your EFB. This hand is super trippy, but yeah, there you go. I'm going to put that back. Let's put it back on the window for now. We're going to finish our load up here. I already activated that. Let's activate it. All right, perf and knit. Let's go ahead and start that. I'm going to just bring it in from what we've already loaded. That looks good. We got a 0 fuel weight of 451. That checks out with our sim brief. Very low fuel. This is a very, very short flight for this 777. The range on the 777 it's pretty astronomical. I was talking to actually just 2 days ago when we were flying. I was like, man, that 777 is all our long-haul aircraft. The technology is insane that these airplanes can go these insane distances. I think I was up in New York and we saw an Air India 777. That's when I started thinking about it. I was like, man, that just came in from Delhi, 15-something hours, and then they're going to recrew it, and it's just going to go right back. Pretty amazing equipment, these wide-body aircraft. We don't do any flexing here or derating here on this channel, so we're going to go ahead and select takeoff. We're going to do our CG check, 28.9. We're going to do a flaps 5. Now, we don't have any V-speeds here because I need to finish up a couple of things here on the departure arrival. So index, we're going to depart off of 16 right. There is no SID. We're going to do a heading departure. We're going to stay low so we can fly. We're going to fly right downtown Seattle for some photo operations, just so we can get some cool screenshots going over Seattle, and then we'll climb up to our cruise altitude. So we'll go ahead and execute that. I'll go back to the index. Arrival San Fran. Right now we are planning on the ILS 28 right on the Bodega 3, and we're coming off of the Melbeck transition. We'll go ahead and execute that. Beautiful. Now if I go back to the init thrust limb takeoff and a couple other things I got to finish. We're going to hit the magic barrel ref key there as well. We're going to accept. There we go. I got to accept the takeoff data. There we go. Thrust limb, no derate. We're doing a takeoff. TO1. Now we got our speed. So look how low these V speeds are. We're so light. 136, 145, 161. And we're not going to do any derating like that. Winds are calm right now. It's a beautiful day here at Everett. I did Doha to Montreal in a 13 hour and 30-minute flight with Qatar in business. I would not have done it in economy. That is insane, Nanook. That is a long flight, my friend. All right, our init is pretty much completed. I'm going to put our V2 speed in here. We got 161, so I'm going to go ahead and set 161 here in the IAS window. Oop, went past it. 161. It's going to be, we'll get our flight directors on. We're going to do VNAV arm, but it's going to be a heading on departure. We're essentially just going to fly runway heading out of here, and then we'll vector ourselves over downtown Seattle. We'll set heading 160. Our initial altitude, we're going to scroll this down to 5,000. Yes, the interior is modeled. Absolutely. It's a beautiful interior model. We'll take a look at it here momentarily. Let me get the click spot for the thousands. There we go. Let's maintain 4,000 feet on departure. Maintain 4,000 feet. Our magic barrel ref key has been hit. We're 2.9 We're set there. That looks good. I'm going to go finish some overhead stuff. Let's go ahead and get you auto. These are coming on. Window heat. We'll get those fired up. We are done fueling. And what we'll also do is I'm going to bring my EFB down here just because I have my view bound. And I'm going to go back to our ground services. Oh, no, we're going to get to that in a minute. Hold on, let me get back out of here. Ground operations, ground vehicles. So let's go ahead and release. Release. You could do release all. I just want to make sure. Yeah, we're good. We'll just, I just requested potable water. I didn't want to do that. Release all vehicles. And then what we will do is pull up our checklist. How is it on frames? Pretty darn good, man. Like I equated it right to the 737 series, maybe a little bit heavier than the 7.3, but not by much. And the 7.3 on my system runs really well optimized. So pre-flight oxygen tested 100%. Instruments heading. Ooh, did we not set a parking brake? Parking brake is set. Oh no, I didn't capture there. Might be something to do with my hardware too. All right, flight deck door. We'll leave it open. It's MCP V2 heading track altitude. We've got that set 160 on the heading. Departure V2 altitude of 4,000. Takeoff speeds 36, 45, 61. CDU pre-flights completed. Trim 00 check. Taxi checklist completed. Beacon. Turn that puppy on. Automatically checks. Now before taxi, so that pretty much is where it leaves us for before taxi. Now I'm going to put you on the, let's go back to the main menu, FMC legs page for this aircraft. All right, LNAV, VNAV, we got Toga, VNAV armed, and let's take a look outside. So what we need to do is release the chocks and release the rest of those ground service vehicles. And before we do that, we'll come up here and we'll go ahead and disconnect before we pull the units, because we don't want anybody to, they can harm somebody if they pull that cord out. So everything has been released here. So let's go to ground connections. We'll release the air conditioning unit, release the ground power unit, and we'll go ahead and pull the chocks. And now we are pretty much ready to go. Our beacon is on. So what do you want to do, chat? There is no sit on this departure, wise, so we're doing a heading departure. So we're just going to do a straight out heading departure. Kanoki, thank you for the €2 donation, man. Appreciate you. I've had the alert box muted here. I'm going to catch back up to it as soon as we get powered up. So thank you so much, Kanoki. Appreciate you. I am glad to be back, man. It's awesome to be back. Callie Simarl, see you at a $10 bank angle check there. Good morning, Captain Cafe Con Leche. From hot Vegas. I've missed your stream, so glad to see you. Got to run downstairs, grab some coffee so I can wake up. Thank you, Callie Simmer. I appreciate the support. Very, very kind. I hope you're enjoying FS Expo, having a wonderful time there. I'm going to get back to all these donos and super chats here in a minute. Let's fire up this airplane. I think we should fire up the first one from outside. What do you say, chat? You want to do the first one from outside or inside? And then we will do the second start from inside. So, apparently PMDG has hot gear detection simulated. So I will tell you this. On my test sector yesterday, landing in LAX on the members-only live stream, it was dark, and we could see those brakes start to glow. It was very, very, very cool. No wing views? Oh, absolutely, we have wing views. We're going to do a wing view engine start after we start number 2. We're going to go 2, then 1. Now, you can start them both at the same time, but for cinematic purposes, I just want to start 1, then 2. So we'll go ahead and auto start is on. So we'll go start here. And what you can actually do is you can actually bring fuel control up and the FADEC will do it. Now let's go outside. Oh. Yeah, we sucked in those cones. Again, that little bit of artifacting you see when I click on my screen, that's a frame generation thing. That's nothing. When I click off the screen, it's not there. So if you run frame gen, you're used to it. If you don't know what that is, that artifacting on the spinner, that just happens when you run a non-native frame gen, which is what I'm running for my 30 series GPU. All right, we got a good start on number 2. I guess somebody said in chat that we don't, that's a Rolls-Royce thing to start both at one time. All right. Well, I'm glad. Thank you for letting me know. So we have the GE90s. We're doing 2, then 1. This one we're going to do from the inside view. So let's go ahead and move the start to start. We'll bring the fuel control to run, and I'm going to be quiet. That startup sounds pretty dang good. So you can see here, there's my frame gen on now from back here. And I do like the sound cone. So, or I say sound cone, I think that's way back from an FSX thing. But, you know, the 3D sounding, as you move through the cabin, there is a definite change in sounds, which is very realistic. As you know, if you've been on an airplane, you walk from the front to the back. It sounds very, very different from where you're sitting. All right, so we got 2 good starts. We're going to do flaps 5, and I'm going to do this. I'm kind of doing this out of order because I want to give you guys kind of the sound preview. Again, everything you're hearing and seeing, this is all pre-alpha, so if any of this stuff changes, it may. I'm not sure what the final release plans are, but let's go ahead and select flaps 5, and I'm going to do it from leading edge slat view. This is one of my favorite views here for the leading edge slats. So let's go ahead and select flap 5. I think I selected it. Yep. Flap sounds are pretty dang juicy, right? Gotta love it. All right, so we got 2 good engine starts. We're flaps 5. Check our trim is set. That looks good. Let's come back up to the overhead. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the APU. Remember, everything's in auto, so you don't have to do anything else. It's very, very simplified, very streamlined here. Now, I don't know if there's any SOPs that probably say, well, maybe you should run these in off, but when you take it out of auto, I've noticed that it actually gives you the amber off light, so I would assume that you probably just keep it in auto even if it's off. Let the airplane do its thing according to the logic. So a very straightforward, streamlined overhead. Very clean as opposed to the 737 series aircraft. All right, so we got 2 good starts. We're flaps 5, trim is set. We're going to go RTO. Let's come down here. Let's check our checklist. Anti-ice, not required. Recall, I didn't check it, but we'll check it here. Flight controls. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and do a flight control check. I am running my Brunner yoke, and I'm working on a profile, so, and I also have a rolly chair. I'm trying not to roll away from my desk, but that seems good. Flight controls are checked. We'll go ahead and get rid of you. I'm gonna have to fix my view bind so I can come up to that panel. Flight controls checked. Ground equipment is clear. We already sucked in the cone, so we don't have to worry about that. That's going to leave us before takeoff. That's flaps 5. We don't need anything else before takeoff is complete. We'll get rid of the checklist item. And we're not on VATSIM today. We're just doing our own little thing here. We also don't have the updated AIRAC yet anyway. So we're just going to do our own taxi out. 16 right. Let's get our taxi light on. And let's go to San Francisco. Brakes released. Here we go, chat. So light, barely had to touch the throttles. Try not to hit anything here as we come out of the bay. A lot of expensive aircraft around us here. A lot of expensive airplanes we don't want to bump into, so we're all set. I also don't have my tiller plugged in yet, so I'm using my rudder pedals for nose wheel steering. Let me do that checks. Yeah, the wings are nuts. All right, there's our cabin ready. There's an American 7.8 over there. Can you take this into Aspen? Good luck, man. Good luck. Alright, we'll come up here and make our left turn towards 16 right. Our flight controls are checked. Everything is pretty much set. Auto throttle will be armed once we engage it. 161, heading 160. We're good to go. Have you tried looseless scaling? No, I have not yet. I have not. I haven't tried any of that. I have a new rig that's going to be built here within the next week, so I'm not even going to worry about it. This rig is going to be for video editing. But I have a whole new PC coming. I don't know if I'll have it by mid next week, but now one thing I have to be careful of is my flaps. Yeah, they're still in 5. So I'm using an axis on my Boeing throttles, and I was trying to set it so they correspond to the 777. So we're still flaps 5. lossless scaling so much better? I'll have to look into it. I will have to look into it. Eric R., welcome to Commercial Pilot. Glad to have you on board. All right, chat, here is the question. If you're new to the channel, we always determine if we're going to do a Toga takeoff from outside or inside view, and it's dependent upon likes. Now, since this is the Pmdg 777, our first ever takeoff, I'm going to set the like goal at 700 likes. We've got 1,400 people watching. So half of you, if you want to see it from outside view, we need 700 likes. If you want to see it from inside view, which will be lame, well, it won't be lame, but I always think it's lame to do inside view. We'll do an inside view takeoff. So it is up to the chat to see if we do an outside takeoff or inside takeoff. Lights are set. Let's go ahead and line up for 1-6 right. Now, lining this thing up on the runway is pretty interesting. What's cool is the trucks actually steer a little bit, right? Like the rear wheel on the truck turns, kind of like body gear steering on the 7.4 Classic. Oop, I don't want you up there. Go away. Come back down here. But I really want to get the tiller, my tiller hooked up. We'll straighten her out here. We'll see how we did. I think I undercut it a little bit. Yeah, I definitely undercut a little bit, but let's take a look. Yeah, you can see I undercut that turn. I'm definitely not a 777 pilot, but we'll figure it. We'll get it straight here once we get rolling. So, what do we do for likes? We are at 613. It looks like we're doing an interior takeoff. So, I don't have any camera set up, so you're just going to have to pretend you can see what I'm doing. We're ready to go. 161. Are y'all ready? Let's get some yogas in chat. We've had a lot of very generous donations to the channel, so if you're a new member, let's spam that yoga button. Let's get out of here. Spool them up. And yoga. All right, let's get it straight. Throttle hold.
V1.
Jeez. There's rotate, nice and easy. Oh, she hand flies so nice. Positive rate, gear up, fly with. Look at that. I mean, we're so light. Let's go ahead and bring it back down. So let's go ahead and select heading. Heading select. 160. 3.5 for 4. Flaps 1. Look how fast. Wow, we just floated everybody in the back. Flaps up. Maintain 4,000. What we're also going to do is I'm going to engage the autopilot early here. And I'm going to bring our heading to the right so we can go right over downtown Seattle. I guess we could have had the terrain on there so we could see. Yeah. Definitely a different sound from forward to aft. I will say, I think the 737 sounds are more resembled the 7.3 more so than the 777 sounds from Pmdg on their 777. Now, I don't know if that's something that's going to be tweaked. Again, this is an early access version. There could be an update coming that I'm unaware of, so keep that in mind as well. But it's like I said, I think the 7.3 sounds are almost real life to me. I haven't been on a 777 in a very long time, and I haven't sat. The only time I was on 777 was pretty much this view here. So up front, it's much different. So I'm going to leave it to the experts in chat. All right, so there's downtown Seattle. We're going to go right over downtown. We're heading let's come to the left here. Actually, I'll tell you what. Let's change that. Let's make it 185, and then we'll line up parallel and go right over downtown for a photo op. We're going to hold it here at 4,000. I remember the first Fenix V2 first update made wing sounds terrible in the A's. Yeah, there's definitely, I definitely think it can be worked on. One thing you'll notice too on approach maybe is it seemed, what we'll talk about, we'll see if it happens on approach. It happened in the members only stream where it did something kind of weird with the thrust sounds, but Hypoxia says, of the times I've been on the triple, this pretty much sounds nothing like it. Well, then we'll stick with this view. Does the weather radar work? I believe it works very similar to how like the default radar works. I'll turn it on. There's nothing to see. I'll turn it on here when we get to cruise. But let's go ahead and get ready for our screenshot cinematic purposes. It's come left heading 175. And we'll take it right over downtown here. So this would be right over the Space Needle. Screenshot. That is a pretty cool shot right there. What we'll do is we'll do a basically we're gonna climb it up here too, and we'll hear them spool up again. Taking it right there's the Seahawks Stadium. What was it, CenturyLink or something? Gotta love it. All right, we got our photo op, the sun rising. Gotta love it. All right, let's go ahead and dial it up now. So we're gonna do a couple things. Let's zoom it out. Let's get us going direct to, let's go back to Eason. Direct Eason, we'll execute that. And now let's go ahead and set a new altitude of, I'll look up our top of climb. I forget what it was. I want to say it was 30. Well, I say manage it, but very similar to the Airbus, so we push it in here. So with thrust ref VNAV speed. Uh-oh, a little bit of stutter there. So there she goes. There she goes into roar mode. That sounded pretty good right there. That engine wobble though is fire. Look at that, just a little bit of a wobble there. Maybe it's where you have the camera positioned, you know? It definitely sounds better at this higher power setting. It might just be, you know, maybe we should have done a takeoff from like middle of the engine instead of in front of the engine. But we're rocket shipping out. We're also very light, Air Valkyrie, yeah, but I don't think that would have any effect on the sound. Look at us rock. We're doing 4,200 feet a minute out of 10,000 feet. Let's clean up the airplane. We'll get our lights off here. So we'll get rid of the wing lights, logo lights, beacon nav, and strobe is all we need. Everything else looks good. We'll zoom it out. You can see a little bit of terrain there. Now we're going to increase speed to our cost index climb out speed of 320 knots. Looking at SFO fuel 19.2. Our cruise altitude was 380. So let's dial that in there as well. 380 is set. Lights are off. We're at a 10K. And we're saying goodbye to Seattle. I forgot I'm not in an Airbus. Behind the wing sounds good. In front sounds like crap. Not realistic at all. I thought that spool up when we started climbing was pretty darn good. This will be a cool view here as the mountain comes into view. Yep, flight beam S. Oh, did I not hit LNAV? No, we got LNAV on. Do we not? I haven't enabled LNAV. Yeah, you're right. We're still in heading select. That's on me. Let's take it to the next fix. Let's go Ebony, execute, and LNAV. I forgot. I'm not an Airbus. There you go. For those who are unaware, I fly the Airbus in real life, not the 777. We survived. We don't need no LNAV where we're going. Where's that FMA checker always talking about? Well, we're just doing it. I'm too excited. We're not doing tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll do FMA checks. Today is just enjoy the airplane day, and just be glad to be back live because it's been so long since I've been able to be live with y'all. I will pay money on it that's a sound bug. Mr. Mathis is probably on it. Hey, again, like I said, guys, this is not a release candidate of this airplane. So, and there has been an update to the streamer copy already once. So, again, what you see in here is subject to change. You can definitely hear that it's fading out now as we climb, which is very realistic. Hypoxia, I'm on the 320 family. Yeah, 19, 20, and 21. I'm actually going on a 21 tonight. I got to do a evening turn here, so that's why I'm kind of not skipping a lot, but we're kind of just taking this as a delivery flight. We're not being too hardcore. Tomorrow, we got to figure out where we're going to go. I had an idea. Do you guys want to see? So the way the time compression works on this Ultimate Flight tablet is pretty cool. I was thinking we could do SFO to Honolulu and maybe test out some of that time compression, maybe at 2x, and then do or 4x or something like that. So it's not super long. Oh, this is a cool breakout though. Look at this. We are going to go to Asia. So what we are going to do is we're going to go eventually. We're going to go Honolulu to Kai-Tak. Heck, maybe we'll just do that. Well, I don't know. I need more practice. I need more practice landing this bird first. No, everyone is doing time compression? Look at that, though. Just an absolute beaut. Turn the sim down, Tad. As flight simmers, we're totally spoiled. Yes, we are. GE engines roaring on Kai-Tak, windy landing. I know. Kai-Tak would be... I want to do Kai-Tak, but I need... So tomorrow, I'm off all day tomorrow. Maybe we just full send do Kai-Tak tomorrow. Honolulu to Kai-Tak. How long is that flight? I can do a practice run or something in the morning. And then we'll do some in-flight entertainment. It'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, the 300, man. I love seeing the 300s. It's, especially, I think, well, I don't know how many they have now, but when I was in Chicago last week, I was seeing a lot of the 200s. I know American had quite a few 777-200s up there. And then I saw, I want to say it was a Korean 300 that was taxed, that came in front of us. And just, I mean, I think the 200 looks cool too, but the ramp presence of that 777-300 is insane. It is such a long airplane. It catches your eye. I would even say more so than the 78. Like the 777-300 just looks awesome from the ramp view. I mean, it blew the 200 out of the way, because I was looking at, because obviously we're excited for the 777 release, so now I'm paying attention to all the 777s in real life. So I'm like, oh, there's a 777-200, there's a 777-200, and then sure enough, here comes a 300 taxiing by. First flight for me is Denver, Houston, and back. You can use 16x fast forward in this Pmdg Triple, but it's recommended up to 4x over terrain. Yes, I've heard of that, Lady Lex, and I was saying because we'd be over the water, right? So we'd just be over the water, over the Pacific, and I wasn't going to do 16, maybe 2x. That way we could knock it out in a shorter time period, just to kind of see how it works. No, you are not advised to use time compression on any ATC network, though. So if you're going to be flying on VATSIM or Pilot Edge or Iveo, don't use time compression. That's not really a good idea. 777-3 is golden. The first flight I'll do is Montreal to Cancun. Oh, you know what, Canadian? We should go down to Cancun. I was supposed to do Cancun yesterday, but I was sick, so I didn't end up going. But maybe we should do Cancun. My first flight is VABB to Dubai. Ooh. Is VATSIM working again? Lollerpod, I haven't tried any network stuff yet. We're already through our transition altitude. We'll hit standard up here. We'll go STDs, 1, 2, 3. We don't need the terrain up anymore. We'll zoom this out a little bit. 29 for 380. Everything is looking good here. Let's take a look at our fuel. Beautiful. Hydraulics, check. Electrical page. Just to make sure there's no flight control issues. Everything looks good. Auto brakes are off. Did I ever put that in RTO? I think I forgot to put that in RTO when we took off. That's all right. Everything is looking good though. Cabin interphone. I'm just going to leave that one off for now. And we should have turned our transponder on too. We'd probably be in above mode, and yeah, it's in TARA, so that's good. ATC 1, probably would be squawking 2000. Again, we're not on a network today, but 2000 above mode. Let's take a seat here on the jump seat for a minute. As we climb out in this beautiful morning, let's bring up some sunshades. Is there a sunshade for this window? What about for the back window? No? Ooh. You guys hear me talk about realism mode. This is probably what realism mode would look like. What GPU will your new PC have? Scotty 2. It's gonna have I have a 4080 that I'm putting in it because I'm waiting for a 5 series. So with the deal I'm working, I had a 4080 that I was either going to put in this PC. Then I said no, I'm going to keep my 4080 in the box until I get my new PC, and then I'm going to get a 5 series, and then it will eventually have a 5 series. So until the 5 series are out, it's going to have a 4080. And then this rig is going to continue to run a 390, but I'm going to bring this rig home to do regular videos with. You can drag them around too? Oh, I think I saw it. Yeah, there you go. Oh, look at that. Airbus shades are better though. I agree. I agree. All right, as we enjoy this, let me get back to some of the super chats that I missed. I really apologize, y'all. So I'm going to get back to all of that as we climb out here in the cockpit view. Mateo Chewy. All right, try not to stutter things up here.
Bank angle. Bank angle check. Bank angle.
Glad to manage a live stream after quite a long time. Perfect timing with the stream being right between today's lunch and dinner BBQs.
Mateo Chewy, thank you so much, man, for the $5 bank angle check. I apologize. It's been about 20 minutes since I got to read this. But, yes, it's good to be back. And perfect stream between lunch and dinner barbecues. Well, I wish I was doing that, but no, I'm trying to get this stream done before I have to head to the airport and do my own flying tonight. I won't be back till about 10 p.m. So, long day for me, but I hope you're enjoying it. I know I saw your pictures in the Discord of getting some juicy barbecue done out there, man. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. I already got Callie Simmers, and then there was a couple other supers that I missed. Let me go back. Max Rank, thank you so much, my man, for the continued support. 50 months of support from Max Rank. I appreciate you, man. It's just glad to have you back, mate. No taxing on Renton's ramp. If you're not a Boeing employee, you would be towed. Well, that makes a lot more sense because it is very, very tight coming out of that ramp area. So thanks for supporting Channel Max. Good to see you. Dude, I was going to be up your way next week, but I dropped it because it had a long red eye attached to it. So I appreciate the support, man. And if I do find my way up your way, I will send you a message. Hope you're doing well. John, thank you for the support. Says, can't freaking wait for next week and some long hauls. Everyone's going to be doing long hauls, and you're going to absolutely love it, man. It's I've been in love with this bird for the few flights that I've done. I mean, it's PMDG. What else can I say? I mean, we've all come to love PMDG and what it brings to the table, and this is no different. No different at all. So, and I love this wing view right here. Come on. I could definitely get used to looking at this wing view for 5-6 hours. Anything longer than that, we're doing time compression. Key 6, thank you for the $5 super chat. So I finally met XP and get a V1 777 sneaky stream on the same weekend. What's next? Key 6, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you got to meet XP. I know he's at the expo. I think he's actually streaming today. He might be streaming right now, but I really wish I could have made it to the expo. It just didn't work out. It's kind of joking about it last night. It's like last year when the expo happened, I was in the middle of a move across the country, and this year when it happened, I ended up in the middle of a move across the country, and I ended up being sick anyway, so it just didn't work out. But I'm really, really gonna try, guys. Really gonna try for next year. Hopefully they announce somewhere cool like Dallas. Kanopki, thanks for the thanks you. Glad to have you back. I think I got most of y'all again for the support. So if I missed any of your messages, I apologize. Hudson Markle, thank you so much for coming in with a $5 super chat. Finished my instrument stage check just in time to focus on this puppy. Hey, Hudson, congratulations on finishing that stage check. Now you can focus on doing some long hauls. And you know the good thing, Hudson, about doing long haul is once you get up to cruise altitude in a long haul, you can bring out your I'm going to go ahead and get that out of here. You can bring out your study material for real world flying and just do some studying. So that's what long haul is good for. Seatbelt sign off. No smoking is on. You are now free to move about the cabin. Y'all want to do a quick cabin tour? Let's do it. Let me get about here. Cockpit is absolutely beautiful. Now, if you want to see something in particular, let me know, and I'll stop and show you. But I'm kind of going through this with the basis. I mean, there's been a lot of screenshots. There's been a lot of pre-release content already. So you've probably seen most of it. But we're just going to kind of go through it here live. Again, the cockpit, really well done. PMDG standards through and through. Looks really, really good. All right, let's go ahead and hop out here. Man, that vest... I'm going to let it just zoom in here or let it settle down so you can see this in true HD. This looks real. The texturing on this high-vis vest in there, it looks like I can go in there and just grab it. Unreal. There's nothing quick about the cabin tour of the 777. That is 100% true, Canadian. I was saying this last night, y'all. So this is the first airplane that I have that's a wide body with a cabin, and you 100% feel that when you try to walk through this cabin. It takes forever to walk through this cabin at normal walking speed. So we've got our crew rest facility here. We'll come over here through first class. Here's our forward galley. Got a little fat panel here. You can see the display, passenger service. Cool. All right. So this is where all our premium commercial pilot members are currently sitting here. I don't know, are these full lie flats? I don't think they're lie flats, are they? Yeah, actually, I think they are. Here's your United welcome aboard. I mean, very, very cool. So I just texted my buddy. I got two good friends that are on the Triple. And I was asking him questions about engine starting. He actually just got back to me. He said, it depends on the motors. You guys probably already know this stuff. GEs are always one at a time. Pratt start simultaneously if we are brake set, but one at a time if being pushed by the tug. So if you're under GSX tug, don't start them both at the same time. Start switch on the overhead and then the cut off right away. So you let the FADEC do the magic. So just like we did, number 2 to number 1, you don't have to wait for motoring or anything like that before you introduce fuel. Two of my closest friends from flight school are on the Triple, and they seem to love it. I'm not a wide body kind of guy, but as far as real life flying is concerned, at least not right now. But let's go ahead and walk through this. Now this, put your seat back because it's going to be a minute before we get to the end of this airplane. You said my VNAV is off. I think we leveled. I think that's why. Here's where all our private pilots are. So we have the commercial pilots up front. We have a private pilot section here. I love seeing those big motors out there. That's actually a really good view. So I always look at this. I always look at the texturing around the windows, because if you know me on my wing view, I'll either do the kind of the quote unquote hack view where we do our wing view outside of the cabin. And I do that mostly because a lot of add-ons that we get, no matter how good they are, they're lacking textures around the window and it just kind of ruins the immersion. I'm going to be really honest with you. This is some of the best windowing that I've seen. Like this texturing looks real good. You got the little air gap thing there in the window. I mean, I might even save that as our forward wing view. That looks really, really good. I really like what they did with the texturing around the windows. It's not perfect, but I mean, it looks, when you get up close, you can see it's not perfect, obviously, but that's probably due for performance. It just looks really, really good. So I think I'm going to keep the cabin on for our wing views on this airplane. And I just think that adds more immersion. Instead of doing our type where we go outside the cabin. Like here, you can even do another one right here. Kind of zoom it in. Like that right there. Come on. How awesome is that? What's my favorite airport? DFW, man. Means I'm home. Would you fly a wide body domestic? Yes, I've always said this. My dream job is flying an A340-600 domestically. Which will never happen because there's no A340-600s flying domestically. I don't even think any U.S. airline, nobody has an A340-600 in the U.S. So the chance of that happening is nil. But that would be my dream job, flying an A340-600 domestically. I want to do like Dallas-Cleveland turns in it. But all right, let's continue walking through the cabin here. As you can tell, this is a very, very large cabin. We still have IFE in these seats here, all the way towards the back. Look how long this airplane is. This is when you truly feel, for me at least, I was like, man, this really is a big airplane that we are simulating to fly on right here. Now, a lot of y'all don't like this view because you can't see down. But this is one of my favorite views because when I was a young kid, the first wide body I ever got on was an L-1011. And we were going to Hawaii, and I was so used to being on 737s. And the first time I sat on a wide body...
Bank angle.
777 looks awesome. Can't wait. Best regards from Switzerland.
Dominic, thank you so much for the 777. Looks awesome. Can't wait. Hey, man, appreciate you. Thank you so much for the $5 bank angle check, man. Best regards. Appreciate you. A long way away. Thank you for tuning in from Switzerland, my friend. Very kind of you. But yeah, so my first experience on a wide body was this view right here. And when I sat down and looked out the window, I was completely blown away by how wide and how long the wing was. And that was only on an L-1011, which is still pretty wide, but compared to a 777-300, not so much. So whenever I look at this view, is it brings me right back to when I was a kid looking out the window. So it's one of my favorite views. Robert Randazzo is in the house, Mr. PMDG himself. I am completely humbled and honored to have you in the chat. The pancake check call out with your sub is triggering my PTSD. You know what? I need to turn it down. I'll tell you that, because it's definitely way louder. I've just reset my entire streaming situation, so all my audios are a little bit off right now. I do apologize. But yeah, I mean, I could definitely see where you're coming from. But again, thank you so much for doing what you do to this community and bringing absolutely awesome aircraft. I cannot wait to see what's in store for the future of PMDG. Maybe something with more than 2 engines? Maybe? I did watch your interview. You said you like 3-holers, so 727 is my absolute favorite airplane of all time. So thank you so much for stopping by, and again, thank you for what you do to the community. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Hopefully, I think I adjusted that bank angle check. We shall. Hopefully it's down. L1011 is wet dream material. Catco, good to see you, man. Yeah, L1011 would be sweet too, man. Honestly, anything with more than 2 engines. I love our magenta line flying, but at my core, I am not a child of the magenta line, so I like to see some old stuff, which we need more of. Now, that 707 that we saw for X-Plane 12 coming out looks pretty cool from Nimbus. Take out this little view here. I don't know, this is like our 37th galley we've gone through here on the 777, all the way to the back. I have an S-duct fetish. I fly one with an S-duct now. Love. Oh, really? Well, maybe. I am right there with you, man. Throw me into the S-duct fetish pool, because absolutely love that. No pressure that PMDG is in the house. Yeah, well, hopefully they're not here by landing time. Now, I said this last night. Could you imagine flying economy and middle seat for 15 plus hours next to somebody you don't know on both sides? I don't know if I would do that trip. I think I've just decided now as an adult, if I ever go somewhere in excess of 6 hours, I'm not going to sit in economy. I will save and make sure we aren't in economy, because the length of this airplane, sitting all the way back here, I can't imagine doing it for 12, 13, 14, 15 plus. Absolutely wild. I've done it as a young adult and a teen. I've done it. I did Sydney, LA in the back. Tom H., thank you so much for the $2 super chat. This plane has got some length and girth. No ditty. Tom H., thanks so much for the $2 super chat. Appreciate you, man. Winging it, thank you for the support. Love the wings there, man. You've been a member a long time of the channel. Thank you for continuing to support me here. It says, last great aircraft Boeing ever made. Could you do a fly-by-wire comparison with the Airbus philosophy? Ooh, Winging it, thank you so much again for the support on that $10 super chat. You can do a little bit of comparing phraseologies, but it's really not a good thing to do, because what you need to understand is that a Boeing operates as a Boeing, and Boeing aircraft have terms and definitions that are for Boeing. And if you try to cross-reference and make them be like Airbus and Airbus terms and Airbus definitions, while sometimes it works out, there are terms that are not interchangeable that you may think are interchangeable, and it can lead to confusion. This is the same with the Embraer, the E-Jet series. You know, when we talk about flight level change or speed on elevator and speed on thrust, where we try to compare it to thrust climb, open climb, or managed climb, while there's similarities, it can be confusing. So the best way to do it is to learn the definition for the term for the aircraft that you're flying and try to understand it in that realm. Because like I said, there are similarities, and you know, maybe 1 or 2 terms will work out, but then if you'll come across something that, oh, this is just like that, and then it's not, and then you can end up putting the airplane in a bad state, or an undesired aircraft state. Check out this galley right back here. Goodness, wait a minute, so much room for activities. Put some bunk beds back here. Flew Norfolk to Bahrain, middle seat. Don't recommend. Miserable experience. I guess a lot depends too on the airline, right? Because I heard, I was speaking with someone who actually just got off a New Zealand flight, and they said that they block rows, right? Or they block seats. So it's not like, you know, you're in a middle seat. I mean, right here wouldn't be too bad. But I mean, like if you're in this seat right here, and you're next to two people that you don't know for 15 hours, yeah. Hopefully they got, and that doesn't look like a ton of leg room either. That doesn't look much more than any, you know, narrow body leg room. The cabin is so huge, I got the black square TBM set up ready to go in less time it took to look to the back of the 777. Dude, Stephen Hayter, that TBM can probably fit inside this airplane. Is the crew bunk modeled Canadian? I don't believe so. The crew rest facility up front is the outside door is modeled, but I don't believe we can go down there. Don't believe we can go down there. Let's see. You removed a super chat from somebody. What was that, Cosmic? Last great aircraft Boeing ever made? Oh, I know. That was it. I already read that one. Thanks again for the O'Hare shout out. Here's to 18 months. Joe Plains, Tout Ray. Dude, every time I go into O'Hare, man, I think about you. Tout Ray. And we actually got Tout Ray. So I was going to see if I could like record it through my Bluetooth, but could be problems, so didn't do that. One thing we did notice, you know, obviously this is still pre-release. It looks like this lav image is just a mirror image, so maybe that'll be patched or fixed. It might even be a livery thing, who knows? I'm not sure how that works, but you can kind of see it just needs to be. I first looked at it and I thought it was a different language. I was like, wow, what is that? And then I realized, oh, it's just backwards. Is your flight sim set up at your new house completely? No, Shakovic. This is all at the V1HQ number 3. So I have to. My house does not have internet capable of producing a live stream. So I've been getting offices for the better part of 3 or 4 years now to stream to y'all. So I have a dedicated setup for streaming, and I'm just now getting it set up. So it's been. I know it's echoey in here. I literally moved in my PC yesterday in 107-degree heat. So. I got a lot more to do, get some soundproofing in here and get the cameras up and running so you guys can see the force feedback yokes and the throttles and all that. So normally it's a much more clean presentation, but I just wanted to get some content out to you guys because I'm going to be flying on Monday and Tuesday, so I didn't know when I'd be able to go live again. I got a window seat on time next to some dude whose body odor I could literally taste stuck in the window seat of his CRJ200. I cringe just reading that, Keko. I know what you mean, man. I've been there too. You ever been in that CRJ200 seat right next to the lav door? That's always a fun one too. All right, welcome back to the flight deck chat. Let's go ahead and take a look, see what's actually going on up here. Everything looks good. We'll probably have to review some of our procedures. Not quite yet. Let's come down to the prog page here. What do we got? Doing 8.3, top of descent, 276 miles, 1504Z, so that's fine. We're looking good. Time now is 14:09, so we're settled. We've got about an hour. Let's go back outside. Let's turn the sim down. Sound is not that bad. All right, good. Well, it feels like it is because I can hear myself echoing. I'm going to change it, and it will be better. But ooh, nice contrails too. What view do we want, chat? Top down. That's pretty spicy right there. Shakovic, we're delivering this airplane from Payne Field down to San Francisco. 112 degree here in Las Vegas. So sorry, not sorry for you. Key 6. Don't worry though, it's a dry heat. Was placed in the next to the back lav on the 200. Beauty of a non-rev. Yes, Dylan. Yeah, non-revs we don't. I mean, I have tinnitus from flying freight, but I'm pretty sure I have worsened tinnitus from non-revving in the back of MD-80s going to Philadelphia, sitting right next to the engine. I only did it one time without earplugs, and I learned very quick. We flew Philly DFW, and I was just jump seating home, got a seat in the back, and right next to that JT8D. And Philly DFW in the wintertime, 4 hours easy. Like 3.5, but we had, it was like 200 knot headwind the whole way. So you're 3.5, 4 hours just droning. I had a headache for about 24 hours after that. And then I never forgot earplugs again. So it did not help the old tinnitus. Speaking of 777s, there are 2 Japanese government 777-300s flying towards London right now. Ooh. Exterior engine sounds really quiet compared to the 73. I have it turned way down, Randy. I don't know if I may turn it up or not, but I just kind of want to turn the sim down a tad. Yep, the old fan blade section seats, I know. They're just not good. Now, I actually think, I like this United livery too, but the American livery on this airplane just looks so good. We might do a livery flop tomorrow. We might do American tomorrow, even though it's San Francisco. Or we might do LA. I don't know. I got to think about it. Didn't have any Anchorage ANC. Oh, well, flying freight. Don't know if the King Air is that bad. I'm going to change the light speed. Yes, Canadian. I tell you what, right now, protect your ears. Get the Bose Pro flights. Actually, I would even recommend getting the A20s in the King Air, man. A little bit more protection over the ear. I have the Pro flights now, which are very nice, but yeah, I didn't have, so the version before the A20s, I forget what they were called, Bose. I ended up getting those eventually when I was on the beach, but by that point the damage was already done. And plus, I know guys that would actually put on our 99s where they cut the door out right next to the engine. It's even louder than the King Air because the King Air is pressurized, so it's obviously a little bit more dampened. On our Beach 99s, there's no pressurization. There's very little insulation. It's basically the U-Haul truck of Beechcraft. And the cockpit access window is cut out literally adjacent to the engine. So I know guys that would actually put earplugs in their ears under their headsets because it was so loud. Now, I adopted this method later on, but by that point it was definitely too late. And I do have tinnitus from flying those aircraft and the Metro liners, and just, the Garretts on the ramp are just so loud. I'm not too pleased to hear about the FSS 727. You're not too pleased. I'm very pleased, Tom. I mentioned this last night, though. It's like I am just as apprehensive as I am excited, because I do enjoy the E-Jets, but I like the E-Jets. I enjoy the E-Jets, but I know it can happen to devs that start, they keep starting other projects, new projects. Other projects don't get finished. I know that may look not very good to the public eye, so that leads me to be apprehensive. However, the 7.2 being my favorite of all time, I am extremely excited, but I don't want to be disappointed either. So I'm trying to keep my excitement level down, but I am really, really, really hoping I get to take a look at it, maybe even get their pre-release version. I submitted the little form for it to take a look at it. I will say this. The exterior models looked wonderful. There was only 2 cockpit shots that I saw, and they looked good, but one of them I had a question. Is questionable glass work on the cockpit texture. So, screenshots they are what they are. I kind of wouldn't need to see the airplane before I make a full judgment, but look, if it's as good as the FlyJ set a very high bar for the 727, in my opinion, for flying it from X-Plane. I mean, I flew that airplane a ton. I loved how the bulbs burn out, and it had a little bit of maintenance track, and you don't really see that very often on airliner type aircraft where, your bulbs continue to wear out over time, and if you don't do your pre-flight checks, you may not know you have a low oil pressure, and then your engine's toasted. So we'll see. I'm excited, but apprehensive about my excitement. From Houston, we are boiling in our own pollution. Yes, you are, man. I avoid Houston. Mr. Rendero says, I love my pro flight, and my bird is really quiet at cruise, so I remove one earplug so I can hear guests entering the cockpit without getting startled. Left plug falls out while eating the... So that's funny you mentioned that. I had the same issue the other day. My left earplug was falling out. I might put the large or the medium buds on. I took the medium ones out and I put the small ones in. because over a period of time I felt it was a little bit more comfortable to have the small ones in. But I noticed that same issue. If I'm talking a lot or eating or chewing, my left one will fall out. So it kind of depends. And then of course if the FO doesn't have noise canceling, then I got to keep the right one out, and then I can't hear out of my right ear and I can hear out of my left ear. But yeah. I hear you, man. But the Pro Flights, I'm actually new to the Pro Flights. I've only had them for about 4 months, and I absolutely love them. Captain Meow, thank you so much for the 20 gifted memberships, man. Very, very kind of you. Massive support here to the channel. That's very, very kind. I guess my voice is kind of going. I'm going to get a cough drop real quick, and I'll be right back. But Captain Meow, very, very kind of you. Thank you so much for that massive donation. Let me grab a cough drop, guys. I'll be right back. Give me about 60 seconds. All right, we're back. Feeling better already. Auto Thrust Blue, gifting 5 memberships to the channel. Auto Thrust Blue, very kind. Thank you for supporting the channel. Getting some more members here. Welcome back to Team Green, everybody. Let me install my tactical flip-flops. This is how high-tech we are here at the V1 HQ. I use flip-flops to hold my chair from rolling around. Xavier, I saw you had a $3 bank angle check there while I was gone. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. It says, talked to a Northwest 7-2 pilot last week. He said he had an engine fail on his first day of OE. Goodness. Maybe we'll have to recreate that in the sim. That would be pretty wild. That would be pretty wild, man. Were you able to watch the Bluebird presentation? Yes. Yeah, I'm really excited about the Bluebird presentation. When they were doing it, I said this last night when I was streaming to members only. I said, when they're like going to announce a secret project, I was like, please be 727, 727, L1011, DC10, MD11, anything with 3 engines or 4 engines. Nothing modern, nothing modern. And then the second I saw that nose count, I was like, oh, 787. But, you know, I am excited for it. Well, I think we have maybe 10 787s in progress. But you know, if they hold their standard true and to see what the 7.5 is like, maybe it'll be a really, I mean, I'm sure it'll be a good airplane, depending on when they can actually get it out. I know it's going to be quite a while, but yes, I was hoping it was a 7.2. You like the 1440 and the Nuke? I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. Yeah, it's my first time doing 2K, so makes it kind of exciting. Get to bring that back in here. Just compared to a video of 777, the engine does sound way different. They have overtones, not enough basic tone. Well, again, remember, this is a pre-release copy. This is not a final version, so everything you see in here is subject to change. Jay the, welcome to Commercial Pilot. Glad to have you on board. And Image Seeker dropping 10 more memberships to the channel. Thank you so much, Image Seeker. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. If you pick up a membership from anybody today, make sure you say thank you in chat. It's very kind of them to support this channel by gifting you a membership here, and there is members only content, so hope you get to enjoy that. Thank you. DFW right now, Astro. Big D, little FW. These are the exact same ones we had in the citation, too. Rosen. Tell you what. It's kind of a neat shot right there, too. How's the weather radar? Nothing to display. Nothing to display, my man. Now, where is the weather radar controls, weather, gain, traffic? Test mode works. There's nothing to display. We'd have to probably take it into some convective activity. Am I a Stars fan? Nah, not really. Cowboys fan. James Johnson, good to see you, man. Oop, looks like we have a weather load there. There's an Azobo weather load. Climbing back to 380. Airplane handled it pretty well, though. We didn't overspeed and crash. We should probably start looking at arrival stuff. Now, I haven't messed around with this too much. Let's see if we can do it the proper pilot way here. GMC gifting 5 memberships to the channel. Very, very kind. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate the support. Very kind of you. If you pick up a membership from Image Seeker, make sure you say, or I'm sorry, from GMC, make sure you say thank you as well. All right, let's look at our arrival SFO. I like how it auto-populates that. Very cool. So here's your, you can verify your fixes and all that. But what we want to look at is we actually want to pull out the star. Arrival weather right now is 0603. Beautiful morning there in San Fran. So let's go here. Bodega 3 will pin you. Full screen. Bodega 3 off the Melbeck transition. So let's see if I can figure out how to do this. We'll go plan mode. We're going to zoom the range down. And we need to turn waypoint data on. And now, if we go to the legs page, we'll step through here. Now, this is actually, this is really cool. So, gosh, guys, I really apologize about my voice. I don't know. My throat feels much better today, but now my voice is just going away. This is actually really cool because this is a very popular technique. A lot of pilots do this. You actually bring your EFB to the ND or the MFD, whatever airplane you're in, and verify your fixes to go through the star. So I think Pmdg is the first to do this. It was actually very cool. This is a very useful technique. Now, the Bodega 3, not too hardcore, but you start going down arrivals like the Freedom 3, or you start going into Heathrow, you start going into these very long, windy arrivals with fixes. It's this is pretty neat. So I'm going to set up my view and we'll step through here. So we got Melbeck 290 at or above. There we go. Lawsy. There's Lawsy 280. Now there we go. Put the data on it. So 16 below 1454 Z. At or below 16. Now, I don't know if it's supposed to have speed here on the 777. And on the Airbus, we have the speed there as well. At 280 knots. Continue to step through here. We're going to descend via. I'm going to bottom out at Bricks, which is actually back there. And then we're going to start the approach. So we'll go back to our charts. And we'll do approach, and we're doing the ILS 28 right. right here. We'll pin you. Make you full screen. Somebody probably worked for weeks on that hand. It's a good model. I mean, he even has the finger down here supporting the screen. Like, this is obviously taken from someone who does this on a daily basis. But I do understand what you guys are saying. It is interesting. Even got a thumbnail right there. Or a little, his thumb's nail, not a thumbnail. All right. Seeping at 3 is where we pick it up. Aximal 1800, 3-degree path. Beautiful. All right. Let's put you back over here where you belong. And let's go back to the star. Our bottom altitude is bricks at 11,000. All right. Yeah, we'll hand fly it. We're going to hand fly a Team Vaga when we get down there. But we just wanted to make sure all the fixes were in there. Oh, that is a cool shot right there. I got him. The bots are getting smarter. I might have to up the subscribe time to 5 minutes. Pmdg Genie hand. My question is, was that Mr. Randazzo's hand? Was that the man himself? They obviously modeled it off somebody's hand. It's very highly modeled. All right, I was just trying to sign in. Whoa, 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 whoa. And there we go. Now we're cruising properly. What were the likes on the 14-hour long hauls? Oh, Fly to Live. I don't remember, man. I think we were over 1,000. I like the hand. I wish it could be more transparent. Option to turn it off. I mean, I think they should have went all out and just made it look super realistic. Like put skin on it, fingernails, knuckle hair. You know, you could even put a little trimmer. Trim the fingernail if you need to. I should be resting for work. I should be. But miss out on an opportunity to fly 777? Nah. Although if my voice keeps going, I will not be running the radios tonight. Paint the nails. So I remember one time, Froggy, I've told this story before, but we were flying out of, I think we were out of Boston, somewhere in the Northeast. I want to say Boston. And I was still in my regional days. The flight attendant calls up. She goes, Cap, we got a problem. We got somebody painting their nails in the cabin. I'm like, well, you know, you're not supposed to open the nail polish in the airplane. Pressurization smells really strong. It's like one of those things that they had in their books that you're really not supposed to do it. Well, not only was she painting her nails, she had an emotional support pig on board and she was painting the nails or the hooves of the pig the same color. That was a very interesting night. I'm taking a day off work for Pmdg 777. I hear you, Cav. The skin and hair would scare me. Hey, Rod, I failed to see the problem. So the FAA has actually cracked down on that. Yeah, people went wild with emotional sport animals. Now I think it has to be a dog or a cat. Yeah, for a while there, saw all sorts of things. I had one. It was a small cat species, but it was actually a baby, not a puma. It was like an endangered species. I want to say of a leopard. I could be wrong. It was some endangered cat species that grew to be very large, and at the time it was very small. And it was pretty, I mean, I was like, wow, she's bringing this on board the airplane. Like, what if this thing gets out and starts mauling everybody? Even though it was, the size of an average dog. But yeah, there was some very interesting emotional sport animals for a while. Can you show the wing view from the last seat? Hold on, it'll just take, it'll just take 4 hours. We'll get there. Were you two pilots in the King Air? No. No, I was all single pilot. Did some training, training pilots, so I would train them. But for the most part, I will say, actually, there were a select few days where we would actually have time-building FOs that were on a contract from Korea, and they would sit right seat and work the radios. But pretty rare. All right, someone wanted to see last seat window view. There you go. What are your initial impressions so far, Mohammed? I love it, man. I mean, what more can we say about Pmdg? I mean, they bring to the table awesome airplanes every time, and this is no different. I think we did mention, though, that I don't know if the sounds are, maybe I have a different version, but someone said they sounded different on someone else's stream. So again, everything that you see on here is still early access. James, yeah, I do miss the barbecue for sure. Alexander, no, that was an Orbix pain field. Tom H, I actually don't know if they're going to do different engine variants. That's a good question. I actually don't know that. Be careful about restrictions and big bonds below. So check your cross. Huh. Terrace, thank you. I appreciate it. I'll take a look at it. Eamon, the WinWing stuff? Dude, I was saying this yesterday. WinWing yesterday, really strong, coming out swinging. I look forward to a lot of their stuff. Now, Newt, take it easy, man. Have a good night. Yeah, Cactus Bravo is right. So the 200 has different variants of engines. Guys, why is my voice going? I might have to end streaming. What the heck? My voice is literally disappearing with each sentence. Guru, I did. The Moza. It's funny, man. I was watching his video, and then my DHL driver showed up with my force feedback stick. I'm drinking water, Kyle. I got water next to me, dude. It's going away, chat. It's going away. Mohammed, oh yeah, man, you can. I can guarantee you, man. Now that we're getting set up back in the office, you will see more, my friend. Gotta call in sick. Nah, I don't want to, man. I just want to. 2 more trips left. Gotta bank that sick time. Tom, no, I have the Brunner. I have the Brunner force feedback stick. Aaron, yeah, I know, right? No, I'm gonna text the FO right now. I know I'm gonna be like, hey, man, hope you're ready to work tonight. I wish I could show you guys this picture my buddy just sent me from the Triple. So 2 of my best friends they're both FOs on the Triple, and they just sent me a picture. They got to fly a trip to Hong Kong. Does the Brunner base attach your own stick? Guru, yeah. So the Brunner base, it has the same connection as like the Warthog. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to see if I can make a profile to be even more realistic for the Airbus side stick. Flight Sim, yes, Bomb Tech. I did see that yesterday, $7.99. Very interesting. Now, I have my Brunner. I don't think I'm gonna buy another one, but I would be very interested to try it. So, for those of you that are at Expo, let me know how it is. All right, I wish I could put a different yoke on the Brunner, but. Any advice for the 6-hour CFI oral? Be patient and know where everything is. So, like, you don't have to know everything, but know where to look it up. Guys, I'm gonna take a small break, see if I can fix my voice and get some warm water or something, some tea. Give me a couple minutes. I'll be right back. Alright, what did we miss? Who screwed it up? What's happening? We have an engine rollback. What the? Okay. Oh, I know what it was. My headset cable was around my Throttletek, and I pulled the right throttle. I hit it, so it messed it up. Drag required. Why aren't we descending? What's going on? Is our auto throttle still? Why are we in throttle hold? Let me re-engage here. All right. Crisis averted, a little bit high. Speed brakes. I had to make some tea, y'all. I found some tea, so. We're coming back. We're coming back. We're going to finish the stream, y'all. I'm going to go to work with no voice. I'm doing it for y'all. Here we go. Maximum speed brake. We are diving down. Mr. Randazzo's going to be like, what the hell are you doing in my new airplane? We're already breaking stuff. We're already breaking stuff. It went back to hold again. Is it because maybe there's noise? Oh, 23 and 19. We're not that. There she goes. Speed mode. Bring the speed brakes in. There we go. All right, I think we're back on it. We're back. We got it back, chat. We're good. We good. AJ, thanks again, man. I missed your donation to the channel. Appreciate you, dude. Did you get Miss V1 back? Is she back in here? Uh-oh. Chaff, flare. Chaff, flare. Low. Well, good thing on Thrust Blue we don't have anybody on board today. We're weightless. Just a repo flight. I'll tell you what, though. Let's juice it up here. Let's see what she looks like as the sun begins to set. All right. What do we got? FMC, drag required. You're fine. 280, 16, below 13. All right. Here comes the VNAV path. All right. Let's finish up. Init ref 3138. That looks good. And bring up our checklists. All right. Recall. Check. Auto brake. Let's do auto brake 2. Ooh, let's do this. Landing data. 28 right. Import weather. Auto brake 2. There we go. Required 7,300. 11,000. Who would have thunk we could land a 777 at San Francisco? VREF 143. I went 3. My bad. Thank you. Terrain mode up. I don't need any of these waypoints on here. This looks like a commercial. Coming into the Bay Area. We're way above profile now. Magic Barrel Ref 2981. We are a little above. I see what you're all saying about the below now. All right, that looks amazing. That looks amazing. Look at that. Almost on profile. Right about now. Stow him. United PR calling for a commercial shoot. I know, dude. Looks good, doesn't it? All right, we're going to give ourselves a vector here, chat. For cinematic purposes. Well, this is not part of the arrival. I know. I know. I need a flight level change 250 to 5 thou. We're doing a little bay tour arrival. Let's get our lights on for cinematic purposes. Oops. Further left, further left. Oh yeah, here we go. This is going to be the shot, chat. This is it. We're going to be going right over Golden Gate Bridge. Wingnut, good to see you, man. I've been struggling trying to keep my voice before I go to work tonight, but good to see you, dude. All right, there's United's PR commercial. Are you kidding me? Look at that. You think we can hit 1,000 likes on the stream? We're really close. If you haven't already, hit the like button for going to work with no voice so I can't talk on the radio. No second leg, man. I'm literally gonna end this stream shower, put my uniform on, and go to the airport. Wow. Alright. Let's take it out to a right turn now. We'll kind of set ourselves up here for a parallel. Can somebody refresh my memory on how to extend the line like we do on the Airbus? So like if I want to take vectors from Seepin, I don't want to put it direct to. I know there's a way to do it, and I'm drawing a blank right now. So I basically just have the extended center line. The PA will be phenomenal. I will not be using the PA tonight. I'll tell you that. I'm glad I'm flying with my buddy, because I was like, hey buddy, you ready to work? Because I'm not. I'll put it in L1. Alright. So it was right. So Seepin. And then that's gonna give me direct to though. Oh, fix page. Oh, direct to bottom right, maybe? Yes, 104. Execute. Thank you. It should have been opposite. Hold on. Seepin. Be. Oh, geez. What's the opposite of 104? 284. There it is. That's what I want, right there. Now we extended the line. Speed break out. We got to come on down, chat. We need to come all the way down to 3,000. I'm going over Oakland right now. We're way outside of the profile here. Mix, thank you so much, man, for the $5 or 5 memberships. Appreciate you, dude. No, I'm not. I feel good, Muhammad. I'm just losing my voice. Like, I was sick on Friday. I actually called out on Friday. I feel fine. Except now my voice is just, it's literally disappearing since we started the stream. Oakland Tower's not happy, I know. Sorry. Sorry, Lauren. That's right, we're checking out Oakland Hayward too. Oh, look at that. Thanks for the overflight. So awesome. Man, 1,000 likes. Thank you all so much. I appreciate that. Very, very kind of you. I wish I could have been better today. I really do. I know I didn't do this airplane justice yet, but I'm going to see. As long as tomorrow, as long as I have my voice back, we'll do it live tomorrow. No. Not tonight. Not tonight, man. I don't get back till like 10 p.m. Be a long night. Text to speech. Canuck, that's funny, dude. Text to speech. Could you imagine? I wonder how many viewers we could get if we did an entire stream. Text to speech. That's too funny, dude. Alright, here we go, flaps 1. Team fuck. This is what I call the cinematic approach vector. Direct seep in 3000. Approach is armed. LNAV. In the turn, baby. I'm not ignoring your messages, y'all. I'm just trying to save my voice when I can here. ChatGPT. Alright, recording is ready. Yeah, I messed up the approach there, didn't I? Loke and slope is armed. The ref is 138. All right, here we go. Recording is on. Speed brake is armed. Ah. All right, here we go. Flaps 30. All right, here we go, chat. I got FlyLive up for the landing rate. I don't, if I launch G's right now, you won't be able to see it. I don't have that scene set up, so we'll have to go with this one. All right, here we go. Let's hand fly it, shall we? Autopilot's off. That's my hardware doing that number 2 reverser bug. I don't know why. I gotta fix that. Manual brakes. Stow the reverser. That reverse on number 2 glitching like that, that's a binding issue. I haven't fixed it from the last time. I forgot all about it. I got a conflicting bind when I'm in full reverse, so it keeps trying to bring it to idle. It's not a PMDG issue. Alright, we're going to go ahead and cross both runways before we clean it up. What do we get, chat? A -2? Ooh. I'm saving my voice. Let's just go straight into the ramp. Let's clean it up. We're going to leave the lights on because we're just going to go right into replay mode. I want to see how it handles. Now, we kind of messed with it a little bit last night, but the 7.3, if you use Flight Recorder, you know the 7.3 is like one of the best native airplanes with Flight Recorder. So I want to see what happens if we just leave the engines on and go right to replay mode. Because I know if we shut them off, then we could go through the process of like setting the panel state to landing and all that. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to leave the engines on and we're just going to go right to replay because I gotta get going. I love the flap sounds, though. I'm pretty sure I'm just taxiing over signs right now. I'm just doing a wing view taxi, I apologize. Realism has left the chat. We're going to blind everybody here on the ramp. This is the Flight Beam SFO, though, and it looks really, really good. All right, y'all. Let's see what happens. I'm going to mute it here for a sec. All right, so we're going to do the replay. We'll see what it looks like, and then I'm going to head out. Let me make sure we have you off. You off. Turn you off. And let's see. So this is what it was doing last night. It was making that the throttle was really working hard in the replay mode. I want to see if the flaps will come out on their own here. does not appear. Alright, let's see how we did. Yeah, wing nut, they're not bad, right? Here comes full flap 30. I like the, you can definitely tell there's like detailing and texturing on them. I like it. They look pretty good. Alright. Oh, uh-oh. What? Let's see this again. Not bad. That seems pretty buttery to me. Alright, y'all. Again, I apologize. The second half of the stream, my voice just left the chat, so... oh, that's not the right song. But, guys, shout out. Huge shout out, Pmdg. Sending over a pre-release copy. My voice is gone. I can't thank y'all enough, though. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll talk next time. I'll let you enjoy a few replays without my nasty voice in the background. Alright, thank you all for the support. We'll see ya.